Hello, my name is Richard Atwell, and I'm a director with the Sewage Treatment Action Group. I'm going to speak to the staff report in Agenda Item 6 that recommends you reassemble the peer review team to update their recommendations, but I would strongly advise against this. First, staff are recommending that you undertake an expedited process to be completed before the Harbour Resource Partners bid expires, which seems to be the main reason for their recommendation, expediency. McLaughlin Point is not going to suddenly become available by September 12th. Further, any updated review isn't going to change the fact that the methodology undertaken in the discussion paper was flawed. Well, why is that? The discussion paper the peer review team examined was the reaction to provincial policy direction in 2008 that looked at a decentralized sewage system employing tertiary treatment. The Integrated Resource Management Report was the provincial study that detailed a model incorporating enhanced recovery of resources by merging liquid and solid waste opportunities. 4 large plants were envisioned and a number of smaller dockside green-sized plants. And as of 2014, this is still the current policy direction at the ministry, and you can find the report on the ministry's website. CRD's objective and the goal of the engineers in the discussion paper was thus to conduct a technical analysis based on the provincial model to further assess its potential per direction and mandate from this committee back in 2008. The engineers, however, did not undertake this. The fundamental problem with the discussion paper is that it produced 3 configurations, none of which were recommended in the provincial IRM study. While the provincial study recommended a decentralized solution, which located plants where they were needed, all 3 options in the discussion paper were predicated on a centralized plant at McLaughlin Point and relied 80 to 100% on a secondary treatment discharge strategy. All the discussion paper proved is that the 3 options from the CRD's consultants were not viable. It did not prove that the provincial study was not viable. In fact, the peer review team implied as much. On page 5.3 of the peer review team report, they wrote, additionally, the 3 options evaluated by the consultants do not represent the only options. Another option may in fact be found to be more desirable by the community. It is for these reasons and more that you need to reject the staff recommendation today to review a 5-year-old discussion paper that failed to analyze the approach recommended in the provincially backed study. You should instead be focusing on alternative 4, which would undertake a new study. Yet the RFP that has been provided to you is far too limited in scope and will not produce anything close to the provincial IRM model. If you revisit the IRM report on page 17, you will see the following key recommendation from 2008. Integrate the following regional plans and planning processes as soon as possible. The CRD has yet to integrate its liquid and solid waste and water planning contrary to these provincial recommendations. This is fundamentally a policy problem, and your staff are hamstrung by this limitation, even though they sit on separate committees. Remember this quote from George Satayama: those who do not know history's mistakes are doomed to repeat them, and repeat them we will by following any of today's staff recommendations in their present form. Any RFP must be crafted to challenge the engineering community. Simply asking them how much several plants will cost is something that we already know and would be a waste of money. They should be suggesting to us where to locate the plants, not the other way around, and they should be using the IRM model as their guide. The authors of the IRM report are of the opinion that savings in hundreds of millions of dollars is achievable today, but these anticipated cost savings cannot be realized without taking an integrated approach. Start over with a fulsome RFP guided by the provincial policy. Prove the IRM model, and then use this knowledge to effect the necessary policy change for the benefit of all the region's taxpayers. Thank you.